For the warm-up, this is a review of 8.1. Please pay attention to this because you're going to have questions like this on your quiz, but also this ties into 8.2. So you're still having to solve for either x or a y using some sort of scale factor. So these polygons are similar. How am I solving it? First thing you should do is find your scale factor. I'm telling you guys, we're doing the right shape on the top and the left shape on the bottom. If you mix it up, as long as you're matching the sides together, you should be fine. So we'll call this my red polygon, and we'll call this one my blue polygon. And look at how the colors are matching up, okay, because you need to understand how they're matching. So I'm picking any sides that are corresponding. So whether I pick my 8 and my 4, which are corresponding, so here's my 8, here's my 4, or my 10 and my 5, it's corresponding, or my 9 and 4.5. I'm going to pick 10 and 5. If you picked 8, if you chose 8 and 4, that's fine. But I am personally choosing 10 over 5. Can I simplify 10 over 5?
Yes.
To what? So I'm going to have 2 over 1 as my scale factor. Okay, now I need to solve for x. Okay, so I'm using my 10 and my 5. And then I'm going to have to use my 6 and my x because those are the corresponding sides. So looking at it, my blue is on top. So that means my 6 is also going to go on top and my x is going to go on the bottom. So I set it up. Now I have to solve for x. Solving for x, we should know how to solve for x. We're going to cross multiply and then solve. So cross multiplying, I have 6 times 1 equals 2x. 6 equals 2x. Divide by 2. X equals 3 as your answer, and I'm done. That's it. It's not hard. You have to remember the steps. Going to the next one. This one looks a little different. The shapes don't look like they match. So what I recommend you do is draw it. Redraw it if you have to, which I'm going to do. I have my angles, drawing it exactly how it is in this image. My 8 is here, my hypotenuse is 17, and my bottom is going to be 15. Same thing as I did before. I'm taking the corresponding numbers that they're giving me. Personally, I don't want to use the decimal. So I'm not going to use the 15. I'm not going to use the 25.5 or the 17 because it's corresponding. I'm going to use the 8 and the 12. So same thing as I did before. I have my red and my blue. I'm going to put 8 over 12. Can I simplify 8 over 12?
Yeah.
To what?
2/3.
Good. You don't necessarily have to simplify it, but it gives you smaller numbers. So I'm going to have 2 over 3 is equal to, so I did these corresponding sides. Now I have to solve for x, and my 15 is corresponding to x. X is on my blue shape, so it's going to go on the bottom. And then my 15 is with my red, so I'm matching my reds together and my blues together. All I have to do now is cross multiply and then solve for x. So I have 15 times 3 equals 2x. I'm going to get 45 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 45 over 2.
22.5.
Good. You could have 22.5 or 22 and 1 over 2 is fine. All right, today we are doing 8.2, proving triangles similar by angle. So this is the last lesson before you guys take your quiz on Tuesday. As a reminder, you are taking your quiz after a weekend. So when you're coming back, you guys have a quiz. So just remember that. Angle similarity theorem. I know it sounds like the congruencies, but we're not dealing with congruencies. We're dealing with similarities. So you have to remember, instead of using a congruent symbol, you are using a similarity symbol, which is just the squiggly line, okay? So please do not forget that. So if two angles of one triangle are congruent, so we are kind of still dealing with congruency. I'll write it in red. Oops. if they're congruent to two angles of the second triangle, then the two triangles are similar. So what does that mean? If I have two congruent angles, if they're showing me two congruent angles on two similar triangles, then I know they're similar, okay? So again, we're dealing with similarity, not congruency. So looking at these shapes, angle A is congruent to angle D, and angle B is congruent to angle E. They're congruent, but my triangles are similar. You have to understand the difference. Yes, my angles are congruent, but my triangles are similar. So this right here, you're going to have to know how to write this. This is called your similarity statement. Okay, this is a similarity statement. So again, we wrote congruency statements before, but we're changing those symbols as similar. Because yes, my angles are always going to be congruent for these triangles, but my sides are going to have different measures, and we're going to see that as we move on. All right, looking at the examples. Tell whether the triangles are similar or not. For this triangle, I'm going to label it. I have A, B, C, D, E. I have a triangle within a triangle. Okay, you are going to see these on your test or quiz, so please make sure you understand that you have a triangle within a triangle. Personally, I like to draw them as two separate triangles, so I'm able to identify what's going on. So I have A, B, C. It's my large triangle. And then I have A, D, E. All right, looking at these triangles, which angle is being shared? So I have a triangle within a triangle. Which angle is being shared? Yeah. Angle A. Good. So we already know that this is congruent. Remember, if it's similar, I have to find two angles that are congruent. At least two. Now, another thing that I can identify, I have parallel lines cut by a transversal. So I know corresponding angles. This angle right here is corresponding to this angle. So that means B and D are congruent angles. So I can say yes, this is similar by angle-angle similarity. And I'm going to go ahead and write my similarity statement. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADE. You have to know how to write a similarity statement. So looking at them, I could match my A's go with my A's, my B goes with my D, and my C would go with my E. All right, looking at B. Labeling, I have A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Are they already giving me two congruent angles? Yes. One, B is congruent with Y, and C is congruent with Z. So looking at it is an angle-angle similarity triangle. They're similar. So writing a similarity statement. ABC is similar to what? X, Y, Z. Okay, so again, matching what goes with what? A goes with X, B goes with Y, and C would go with Z. All right, looking at C. Side angle side is a congruency theorem. We know that. Side angle side makes it congruent. Okay, so I know that there's an angle in here that's going to be congruent. So I can say that these angles are also congruent. So are they similar triangles? Yes. They're not giving me the measurements of my sides, but I can say they're similar because we're making a similarity statement. So I have ABC, and we'll just call this one in the middle D. So I have two triangles next to each other. I have triangle ABD is similar to triangle CBD. This should be a D, not a C. All right, looking at the last one. Triangle within a triangle. It looks a little funky, so I'm going to separate them. I have my small triangle. We'll say it's A, B, C, D, E. So I have A, B, E, and a congruency mark on E. And then I have A, C, D, and a congruency mark on C. What else are they sharing? Are they sharing any angles here? Yeah, which one? They are not sharing C. Good, they're sharing angle A. So are these two triangles similar? Yes. Why are they similar? Because they have two angles that are congruent from one triangle to the other. Okay, so this is similar triangles by angle, angle. And writing my statement, writing my similarity statement. Triangle EBA is similar to triangle what? How would you write the other one? Patterson. Okay, EBA, Patterson, how would I write the second one? C what? CDA. All right, example number 2. We have, again, a triangle within a triangle. Now they're giving me my side measurements and they want me to find X. So, personal preference, but definitely helps. Draw them out. I'll actually draw them a different color so we can label them differently. I have my small one. And then I have my large one. So I have, we'll do A, B, C, D, E. A, B, D. A, C, E. All right, measurements. I need to find my side measurements. From A to B, I'm going to have 3 and 5. For my large triangle, I'm going to have from A to C. What do you think I have to do with 3 and 1? What do I have to do with them? I have to add them. 3 plus 1 is going to give me 4. And then from A to E, what do you think I have to do with 5 and X? Add them. I can't add them, so I'm going to have 5 plus X. So now I have to solve for X. Solving it, I need to find my ratio of my corresponding sides, or you can call it your scale factor. Am I going to use 5 and 5 plus X as my scale factor? No, because I can't determine numbers from that. I have a variable. I'm trying to solve for my variable. So now I actually have to look for something that can work. All right, so my scale factor is going to be, if you want to put your 4, think of that as your right image over your left image. It'll still work regardless as long as you're matching up the sides. So I have 4 over 3. I can't simplify it, so I'm going to leave it. Blue over red. So I'm going to take my 5 plus X, and I'm putting it over 5. Now what do you think I have to do? Good. Cross multiply and that's it. Solving for my x, cross multiplying. I have 4 times 5 equals, please do not forget this because I've seen so many people write it wrong. It's 3 times 5 plus x. Do not forget the parentheses. You are distributing your 3 to your 5 and your x. If you just put 3 times 5 plus x and you get 15 plus x, your answer is going to be totally wrong. So it's 3 times everything. Yes.
How is it 4.5?
4 times 5. I'm sorry. I'll put a little x to make it look like a multiplication symbol. So 4 times 5, I'm going to get 20 equals distributing 15 plus 3x. Subtract 15 from both sides. I'm going to get 5 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. X equals, yes, 5 over 3. Or you can change it to 1 and 2 over 3. Can I leave it as 5 over 3? Yeah, I'll take that. So x equals 5 over 3 or 1 and 2 over 3. If it is a decimal, if you do like changing it to decimals, it will have to be repeating. So you have to make sure you put that bar notation on top to show me that it is a repeating decimal. Questions on this? You guys will see questions like this on your quiz. All right, you will definitely see questions like this one, meaning I'm giving you one question, but it has 4 answers to it. So when I'm telling you, yeah, your quiz may be 10 questions, but 3 in reality, 3 questions, 1, 2, 3, those 3 questions may have multiple parts. So you will have to solve multiple parts for a question. So looking at this one, like I did before, I'm going to draw 2 shapes. If you want to use a highlighter or different color pencils or something, you're more than welcome to do that. That works fine. So I have my large shape and then my smaller shape. I have A, C, and B, and then I have E, D, and B. All right, they want us to write a similarity statement. So looking at it, what else is being shared? What angle is being shared here? What angle is being overlapped? Yeah.
B.
B, good. So I'm going to draw a congruency mark on B. It's being shared. And then looking at it, I have parallel lines cut by a transversal. So I know that C is the same measurement as angle D. So because I found 2 congruent corresponding angles, I can write my similarity statement. So just if you forget, because you will have to write it, this is similarity statement. And triangle ABC is congruent to triangle what? EBD. There is a difference between your similarity statement and your statement of proportionality. So let's just skip to B and write it. B is asking for my statement of proportionality. Okay, what is my statement of proportionality? It's what sides are corresponding, my corresponding sides. So BE is on my blue triangle. So that means all the letters on the top should be for my blue triangle. And then BA is for my red triangle, so all the letters on the bottom have to be for my red triangle. So BE over BA. And then what would I have? I'm going to have DE is corresponding to what? DE is corresponding to which side of my other triangle?
CA.
Good. CA or AC, it's the same. And then my last side, I'm going to have BD is corresponding to what? Not AB,
CB.
CB. Okay. So now let's go ahead and label everything. I have 8 for this side. I have 3 plus x. And then I have 7 on my bottom side. So I filled in the information that they gave us. So I added my 3 and my 4, and then my x and my 3. And now I'm going to find my smaller one. And this measurement is 3, this measurement is y, and this is 4. So A, they're asking me to solve for y. I need to find my scale factor or my ratio of corresponding sides. What you're taking is the numbers. I cannot put 8 over y as my ratio. Yes, it's a ratio, but I need whole numbers to be used. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my 7 and my 4 to start out with. So writing it out, I'm solving for y. I'm going to have 4 over 7 is equal to, 4 is my blue, so I'm going to take my y over the corresponding side, which is 8. Now what should I do? Good, solve for y. Cross multiply. I'm going to have 4 times 8 equals 7y. Solving these, I'm going to get 32 equals 7y. Divide by 7 on both sides. And y is going to equal 32 over 7. Or you can leave it as 4 and 4 over 7. So that's for my y. I'm going to fill in my answer. 32 over 7 or 4 and 4 over 7. All right, now last, they're asking me to solve for x. So I'm still going to be using that 4 over 7 is equal to, now I'm solving for my x. I'm going to take my 3 for my blue side and my 3 plus x for my red side because those sides are corresponding. And now I'm solving for x. Same thing as before. Cross multiply. 3 times 7 equals 4 times 3 plus x. I'm going to get 21 equals, distribute my 4, 12 plus 4x, subtract 12 from both sides. 9 equals 4x, divide by 4. X equals 9 over 4, or 2 and 1/4. So again, if you want to change it to a decimal, you can, but if we're leaving them as fractions, everything needs to be in a fraction. Any questions on this one? You will get questions like this on your quiz. We're going to do one more and then we're done. Example 4, we're not doing example 5. All right, 4 is a proof. You will not get a proof on the quiz, but you will get a proof on the test. So looking at it, statements, reasons, we should know the first one. AC is parallel to BD, and that's given. I'm trying to prove them to be similar, and we're doing angle. So I have to prove 2 angles to be congruent. Looking at this, yes, there is a vertical angle, but that's only giving me 1 angle. There is something else that will give me 2 angles without using vertical. If I'm looking at this, I have parallel lines cut by a transversal here, and parallel lines cut by a transversal here. So now I have 2 congruent angles that I just found. I have one here, so I'm going to make this step 2. Angle C is congruent to angle D. And then I have this one and this one. Angle A is congruent to angle B. How do I know that? Because of alternate interior angles. And I just gave you 2 congruent angles. So in step 3, I can prove that triangle AOC is similar to triangle BOD. How do I know that? Because of my angle-angle similarity theorem. Yes, if you wanted to, you can add in the vertical angle, but they're only asking me for 2 to prove that they're similar. Okay, using angles. So, any questions on these? You guys have a quiz on Tuesday. All right, your homework is on big ideas. You can get started on it.